class. This is Mrs. Thistle trying to make a video. This one is just audio only with the PowerPoint. And so we're going to start with what you've always wanted to know about Cornell notes. Oh, you know you do. Okay, first, quick write, which obviously we're not going to do because I'm just doing a video, but how did you learn to take notes? How skilled are you at note taking? How do you think taking good notes can contribute to your success as a student in middle school? And are there any benefits to note-taking skills? Now, there are many ways to take notes. First of all, you need to remember that just because we're covering Cornell notes does not make this the only way to take notes. But this is a great way if you use the full Cornell note strategy. And unfortunately, that's a lot of the problem with people who say, well, I tried Cornell notes and it didn't help me any better than any other note taking. So pay attention. Okay? You can use Cornell notes when you're taking notes listening to the teacher lecture in class. You can take Cornell notes while you read your textbook, or in language arts class you can have a novel that you're reading. You can take notes from that in the Cornell style. And sometimes, oftentimes here in my science class, you will take notes when watching film, TV, or a PowerPoint presentation. So, now you can write notes randomly on lined paper. You can do it in a reading response journal. You can do it in outline form. Some people even use sticky notes, okay? And I don't have a problem with people writing in the margins of text if the book is yours, okay? So please don't write notes in the textbook because that's not ours. There are even new electronic notepads for taking notes without a pen or paper. And if you have one, I'm jealous because I have one, but it doesn't do exactly what I want. And so I'm saving up my pennies and nickels, and I'm going to get one eventually. And by then it'll probably be outdated. But so goes the life of a public school teacher. And moving on. But with Cornell notes, you can take notes for almost every single learning situation you're in. Did you hear that? Almost all learning situations you can use Cornell notes. So don't say, oh, it won't work. Yes, it will. Cornell notes will help you be more organized, and a lot of you need some help on this. And I am your guide. I will help you to be more organized if you just let me. You can also be more efficient and save time. Who wants to do stuff twice because you lost something or you couldn't figure out? Yeah, no, forget it. Do it once, do it right, and then you're done. Use them to review and study for tests. This is super important, okay? And of course, Cornell notes are very easy to use, and they require no batteries. Okay, a lot of schools are avid schools, and they identify students to be avid students, and they are required to use Cornell. So at this point, DSMS is not avid as far as I know, and so you're not required. But I know, based on chatting with many of your teachers, that Cornell notes is what they usually have you do. Now, quickly, you want to know where Cornell notes came from? Well, a long time ago, okay? A long time ago, before I was born, all right? Almost before my parents were born. Designed because students and teachers were so frustrated over their test scores. So this was originally meant to be used as a test study guide. The most major law school, Cornell Law School, said, you know what? This is the only way we want our students to take notes. Now, I'm sorry, when a top-rated law school says this is the only way to do something for our students, you got to figure there's something to it. All right, and of course, as I said, avid students. So it's always going to have this same basic structure. You're going to have a left column, a right column, and a bottom. The bottom is always for your summary, and the right column, which is larger than the left column, is your note-taking area. The left column is not for writing in during the lecture, okay? So don't write things over there. Now, I know some teachers give you like a Cornell sheet. They give you a bunch of questions and they want you to write the question in the left column and then go find the answers in the right column. You can do that, but that is technically backwards. So you're not going to get lists of questions from me, but you may get them from other teachers. Doesn't make it wrong, because it's what works for them and what works for you that's important. Okay? This is an example of Cornell notes when they're done. Okay? And as you can see, it says up here, class notes. If there was no class lecture this week, write a paragraph about what you learned. Okay? The topic is a literary element. This is on every page you need to put your name, the date, what period, and your teacher. Yes, please. Now, in my classroom, it's not exactly like this example. Use the example that's posted on the board. But all of these questions here, these were not done during class. These are the notes that were taken. And then, at home. Those are the key words. At home. That means, yes, after school is over. You want to go home, grab yourself a PB&J and some chocolate milk, and you want to sit down, not in front of the TV, not in front of the game machine. You want to sit down someplace where you can just have like 5 minutes, okay? Give me 5 minutes. That's all I ask. And I want you to reread your notes. Yes, you wrote them, so you should know what they say. But, as I will explain in class, your brain doesn't always do what you think it does. So I want you to reread these notes and really pay attention, because that's where you're going to start writing stuff over here. You're going to write this and you're going to say, you know what? That is the definition of irony. I'm going to write over here, define irony. So if at some point I need to go, oh man, I forgot. What's the definition of irony? You can go and go, oh look, there it says definition or define irony. You can also use it by covering up this whole right side and asking yourself or each other these questions that you came up with. It's a quiz. Oh my gosh, you made your own quiz. If you read these and then formulate questions or points of understanding, okay, types of conflict. So you could cover this side up and say, give me 3 types of conflict. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, so chances are pretty good that you can get at least 3, right, when you're questioning each other. Down here, the summary. The summary is for this page only. Don't summarize an entire lecture. Summarize just what's on this page. Because when you're flipping through your notes, you're going to want to check, oh, this is the page I'm going to find it on. Oh, no, this has not got what I want. Flip, next page, next page. Okay? More later. Now, when you are using Cornell Note Strategies, you can use your own preferred style of actual note-taking. Okay? So you can do linear notes. You can start at the top of the page and take notes line by line. The biggest drawback to linear notes is that they show little to no structure or organization. It's difficult to see how concepts and terms relate to one another. Okay, see how there's no break. There's no skipping a line, making it a paragraph, or bullet points or anything. It just goes on and on and on. But you can do that. If it works for you, then please do that. Another example is to outline. Okay, you've got, here's a point, and then these 3 points go with that one. Here's another major point, and then these go with that, but these 2 go with just that. Okay. If you want to use Roman numeral outlining, go for it. It works. I've done it many times myself. It helps keep my brain organized. Doesn't do that for everybody. So, if this doesn't work for you, move on. Okay, this is mapping. This drives my brain crazy. But hey, I know plenty of people, this is the topic that we're talking about, and so they're like, okay, here's a point that he talked about, and oh, talked about this and that, and from this there was these subpoints. Now here was the second point. Okay, see what I'm saying? You've got a little mind map, a visual picture. That's fine. My brain doesn't work that way. I get confused. But if your brain works that way, go ahead. And if you want to get creative, frame the ideas with a circle, a square, a star, a cloud, any shape that you want, as long as it's school appropriate. And there you go. You've got yourself your own personalized style of note-taking. And of course the matrix form. This is not Keanu Reeves' matrix, okay? But this is saying we've got item 1 and item 2. It's like making a table. And for item 1, topic 1 is related to item 1 this way, and topic 2 goes with item 1 this way. Topic 1 goes with item 2 this way, and topic 2 goes to item 2 this way. Okay, so you're dividing it up mathematically is basically what you're doing, which is, again, very organized. So this is how I want you to do your name, date, and period. Okay? Cornell notes equals an effective way to study. See how they use the equal sign? They didn't write out all the words. Go for it. Come up with your own secret code that only you can read. That's fine. Then, afterwards, it says, why is the strategy of Cornell notes valuable to me as a student? Well, all three of these bullets answer that question, don't they? So, from reading your notes, you're like, you know what? Those are the three best reasons why Cornell notes are going to be valuable to me. I'm going to make that my question in the question column. And of course, down at the bottom, Cornell notes will help me for a variety of reasons. I will be able to quiz myself every night, so I will be better prepared for tests and quizzes. Also, now I know I will be reading the entire section or article rather than merely skimming it to find the answers to certain questions or just looking at the bolded words. Ta-da! How many of you are guilty of that? Be honest. All you do when you take notes is you go through and you find anything that's in bold or highlighted text, you write it down and you call that note-taking. I'm telling you, stop it. Alright, so we are done with your very first video of a flipped classroom for homework. I will see you in class tomorrow with your notes and ready to have some fun. Thank you so much and return to me with joy and honor.